Last night it was about defense for the Blazers as they turned the lights out on Lob City. Gerald Wallace was up to his usual and led a balanced attack. Now it's the final game of this homestand. Orlando is in town. Dwight Howard still wants to be traded but is posting huge numbers. The Blazers leave town tomorrow and want to go out with a win. It's Portland hosting the Magic, and we've got it next. Lob to Aldridge with one hand. Right Matthews, and he backs it with two hands. Well, we're in Portland to wrap up this homestand as a 10-day road trip starts tomorrow for the Blazers. They look to stay perfect at home. And inside the Rose Garden tonight, the second of a home back-to-back. The 7-2 Blazers take on the 6-3 Orlando Magic, who haven't played since Sunday and have been sitting here in Portland since Monday. We'll see if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Welcome courtside, everyone. Mike Barrett along with Mike Rice. Well, the Magic have tried to convince Dwight Howard to stay, but even on this road trip, he has said, hey, nothing's changed. I want out, but he's been putting up big numbers.
Oh, and they win 6 games so far with him with the big numbers, and most of it power basketball. He's number 2 in points in the paint. He'll just ram it down. He's number 3 in second chance points, so the Blazers are probably going to have to double team him. He's number 5 in free throw attempts. He doesn't make too many. Marcus Camby, on the other hand, had his first double-double of the year, the last ball game. He's the leading rebounder of the Blazers at 9 a game, and he's 3rd in the team in assists. So Marcus is doing a good job in a lot of categories.
Well, we'll see if he can stay out of foul trouble as the Blazers will out for the three-point shooters. You see the numbers in tonight's McDonald's matchup. Well, for really the first time last night, we saw balanced scoring from the Blazers. All 5 starters were in double figures as they beat the Clippers and improved to 6-0 at home. With that long road trip starting tomorrow, this becomes a big game to get. The Magic well rested and want the upset tonight. We'll get the starting lineups for you when we come back.
Portland Trailblazers basketball is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. By Les Schwab Tire Centers, doing the right thing since 1952. And by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com today for special offers.
Orlando Magic and the Trailblazers. This is the only meeting between these teams this year. The Trailblazers will not travel to Florida at all, so we'll miss that one. Of course, they won in Orlando, swept the season series last year. Let's get you the starting lineups. Raymond Felton in the backcourt for Portland. Wesley Matthews alongside him. Gerald Wallace, LaMarcus Aldridge, Marcus Camby. Starting 5 for Portland. For Orlando, Jameer Nelson, Jason Richardson. 2 guys that will put it up from 3. And so will Ryan Anderson. Watch him tonight. Hedo Turkoglu, he got a nice reception from the Portland fans. He got booed again, as he always does. Dwight Howard, the center tonight for the Magic. As those the starters for the Magic, who obviously are very tight and nervous about this one tonight. Well, the Magic had a rare 2-day break, and last night from Portland watched the Blazers play the Clippers. Dwight Howard will have fresh legs. Can Portland's front line muster the energy to match him? We'll get Rice's keys in. Well, back again. Second part of a home back-to-back tonight for the Trailblazers. This the 166th consecutive sellout at the Rose Garden. And it's time to get to the local Ford stores. Keys to this game. For those, we turn to the coach, Mike Rice.
Well, if you're going to slow up the train, the big guy, not the L train, the other locomotive, second chance points. He doesn't score a lot on original shots, but he'll bang you on that second chance point. Win the foul line. The Blazers can't get into a three-point shootout with this Orlando team. They're very good at it. So the Blazers have to get to the foul line to win this ball game and shoot well from the threes. If the Blazers do take a three-point shot, they've got to make them. They've got to make sure they get the big guy, Dwight Howard, moving around on that defensive end.
Those are the local Ford stores' keys to the game. Be sure to check out Blazer dancer Veronica's Ford live streaming blog on Trailblazers.com. Time to find out who's on the injured list for both teams. This is the Providence Health and Services injury report. Quentin Richardson has that ankle for Orlando, and of course Greg Oden on the injured list for the Trailblazers, but will be in the building and on the Blazer bench. In fact, there he is right now. Gio sporting the bushy beard. I don't know if he's going for the James Harden look, but he's well on his way.
Fine camel hair.
All right, for a Gatorade sideline report, we toss it down to the third member of our crew. He is looking very fine in his pinstripes. Michael Holt.
Well, MB, I think Dwight Howard is public enemy #1 in the Rose Garden tonight for a number of reasons. But the attention that he gets, not just from the crowd, but from the Trailblazers, is going to have a lot to do with the outcome of this game. The Trailblazers are going to double him. He's not a willing or very skilled passer. And I'm sure Nate McMillan is going to try to put him in pick and roll situations defensively to get him out of the lane. We'll see how Dwight handles the attention he gets.
Well, and he'll get a lot, and that's why his three-point shooters are as good as they are. They get a lot of open shots. And Michael's report brought to you by Gatorade G-Series. Prime, perform, recover. How do you think, Coach Rice, Portland will handle Dwight Howard? Toss double teams at him and leave three-point shooters open, or?
They might not double him early just to see. A lot of times the Magic, they're one of the slower paced teams in the NBA. They're 27th at fast break points. So you're not going to see an up and down game by Orlando tonight. They'll set it. They want a half court game. They want to pound it inside first. And they see how you're going to play, Dwight. If you double team them, boy, that's right up their alley. That's what they want you to do so they can hit three-pointers. They're more dangerous when they make three-pointers than when Dwight Howard scores in the paint. And that's why we said the Blazers up at the other end, they're #3 in free throws made. They almost get 22 a game, so they have to match that tonight. At least make 22 foul shots.
And the guy who leads Orlando in three-pointers made is not Quentin Richardson. It's not Jason Richardson. It's not Hedo Turkoglu. It's not J.J. Redick. It is their power forward, Ryan Anderson.
Yeah.
And he leads them by a good margin and shoots 40% from out there. So you got to watch him. He'll try and drag Aldridge out of the middle.
Yeah, in fact, he's made more than the great three-point shooters, Ray Allen, and go right down the list. He's made 29 three-pointers. That's because he gets so many looks. The power forward usually is in helping defend Dwight Howard. They leave him open, and boy, this guy Anderson really can shoot the three.
Orlando will try and slow Portland down tonight. Orlando has not given up 100 points yet this season. Trailblazers averaging right at 100 points on the season. And as we know, in all of the Portland wins except for one, they have broken 100. You see Scott Foster, one of the best in the NBA, Carl Lane, and Mark Lindsay, another fine young official.
Yeah. And this will be a low-scoring game. It'll be in the high 80s, maybe low 90s. That's the way Orlando plays out on the road. And this is a guy, Jameer Nelson, that's really been in a shooting slump, so it'd help if he's missing.
Richardson for three, well off the mark. Ryan Anderson, the rebound, pump fakes, and scores. They get you spread out, and it's tough to defensive rebound at times.
And that's another thing this Ryan Anderson has done. Rebound this year. He kicks up a lot of double-digit rebound games.
Darrell Wallace should have easy pickings on Turkoglu. That one he just let slip out of his hand, clear up and over the rim. But a nice look inside, and a matchup Portland will obviously try and exploit. 2 lay-ins for the Magic to start this game. As I said, last played on Sunday and have been sitting in Portland for 2 days. Is that always a good thing, or can it be a bad thing?
It can be a bad thing if you're sitting around the hotel.
Can be from about 12.
If they bring Dwight Howard away from the basket,
there's 3 lay-ins for Orlando.
And Jameer Nelson, we said he's been really in a shooting slump, but not when he shoots layups, he's not.
And we talk about this often, but it's amazing how many times in games, the very start, the first few buckets do set a huge tone for the rest of the night. And you get the feeling Portland is going to be trying to dig out of this hole for a while.
Well, they're concentrating so much on Dwight Howard, they're letting other people go.
Richardson had it poked away by Felton. Matthews dove for it and last touched it. So Orlando will have it with 11 to shoot. Richardson didn't like the fact that Matthews dove and took him down. There you see the nice hands.
Good hands.
By Felton.
Richardson looks a little thinner tonight than when I've seen him previously. Of course, he's a great outside shooter.
There's another easy Orlando bucket. Nate McMillan is going to call timeout right away as spotting an opponent 8 points here at the Rose Garden is not disastrous, but Trailblazers don't want to see that hole get too deep. Portland 0 for 3 shooting. Magic 4 of 5. Well, a great start for the road team. Exactly what Orlando wanted, as they've missed the one shot but have had 4. Now 3 lay-ins and a dunk. Well, if you know a great coach, nominate them to be a Ford Coach of the Year. How about Mike Rice Jr.? And they could win $2,500 towards their organization and a special assembly. Deadline to submit entries is February 11th. Visit trailblazers.com for details. As Rutgers gets a big road win in the Big East tonight, winning at Pitt by what, 25?
Yes. Oh, I was shocked. I kept looking to see that. That's got to be a mistake.
All the talk about Mike Rice Jr.'s Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
4 freshmen in the starting lineup.
Beating Florida, beating Connecticut, winning at Pitt. Not a bad start. Felton for 3. That's short. And rebound Howard inside. Blazers 0 for 4 to start this game.
Yeah, if you're not going to move Howard around, he's going to clean up on that defense.
Nobody on Turkoglu, and that one a little bit long. As Turkoglu was booed soundly. You kind of figure at some point Portland fans will forget, but they don't.
No, they don't.
Aldridge to the rim. That one is off. Portland 0 for 5.
Notice there were 4 Magic around LA. They really are going to concentrate and keep him from having a big day.
Anderson works his way to the middle. Traveling call, says Mark Lindsay.
About 3-4 seconds before they called it.
Thought it was either going to be a jump ball or traveling, because it looked like he was tied up. Maybe that was the reason why he took the step.
Well, the Blazers were really concerned about the outside shooting in Orlando. So far, as you had mentioned, MB, they've got nothing but layups. And the Blazers have to get a flow of this offense going.
Wallace, baseline, drops to Camby, and there is the first field goal of the game by the Trailblazers, almost 3 minutes in.
I think that last time out, the Blazers got a good earful about the defense and not being physical.
Richardson got it from Howard. Now wants to go back to him. Camby on him. Single covered for now. Howard had it poked away by Camby. Blazers force a bad shot. Ooh, shot clock violation. Blazers get a break there. Anderson didn't realize the clock never reset. Stan Van Gundy said, what? And then he says, oh yeah, that ball didn't hit there. You're right. Stan looking a little more collegiate in those frames.
Yeah. He's had 2 practices. He should know that he practices more than the Blazers do here.
In this building. And that just a bad pass. Magic breakout. Richardson from Jameer Nelson.
You know Richardson from Michigan State can do that. He's in the slam dunk contest when he was younger. And boy, he's got hops.
Felton. Gerald Wallace wouldn't settle for the 3. Matthews thought about it. Now runs into Howard. An offensive foul called. Is a little push off. Matthews extending the off arm. And Scott Foster spotted that. Second turnover for Portland. Blazers now 1 of 6 shooting. And everybody's going to say, is this an effect of the back-to-back for one team and 2.5 days off for another? Is that it or not?
No, it was a big win for the Blazers, but you got to get over that. It has nothing to do with fatigue or anything else.
Turkoglu hits the 3. Because that's how Orlando does it. Get guys wide open, and they're on top quickly in this game, 13-2.
They're paying a lot of money to, and it's the only way they could get rid of him was if Dwight Howard, the team that traded for him, took Turkoglu's contract also, but he can still shoot the outside shot.
Aldridge, long 2. Blazers not getting good looks. Although that's a decent look, but not what they want right now.
Boy, and they're not getting any rebounds because Howard is all over that ball.
Howard to the middle. Camby blocks it, but fouls him first. Howard not a good free throw shooter, and that's being kind. And Camby does pick up his first foul.
And I'm sure if this continues, what we'll see in the past is LaMarcus Aldridge moving to that center spot. And they start double teaming immediately when Howard catches the ball. But that leaves you open for a lot of three-point shots. But that's how the Blazers have been able to get their offense going, is put 4 really perimeter guys in the game with LaMarcus at center. And they move Gerald Wallace to the power forward spot, maybe bring in Nicholas Batum.
And Portland has big guys who can use fouls, of course. Craig Smith. Kurt Thomas can go in and whack away as Howard misses a pair. Yeah. Howard so far this season under 45% at the free throw line. That's why Orlando is 29th in the league at 67%.
Yeah, them and the Clippers bring up the tail end.
Lob to Aldridge. There it is from Camby. Higher percentage shot than some of the others we have seen.
Well, Anderson is trying to play 3 quarters to keep him from getting the ball. That's really an easy way to get the alley-oop.
Howard setting a pick for Nelson. Aldridge slapped that pass out of bounds. Shot clock at 9. Still, Jameer Nelson able to a couple of times now dance right down the middle.
Yeah, you've got to see some bumping and some pushing and things like that, as we can see the alley-oop play.
That's a new twist to the alley-oop play where they fake that little curl to Felton.
Yeah.
And then Camby goes over the top. Nelson, another good look and hit that one. A lot of wide open shots for Orlando early.
He's only shooting 37% this year. He's in one of the worst slumps of his career.
But there's nothing better than a team getting off to a big lead and then getting more comfortable and more willing to take shots. That's a goaltend on Howard.
Yeah, that's because LA really had inside position. He was almost even with the front of the rim. And anytime you have that, then they'll call goaltending.
Blazer bench, the coaches calling out Orlando's play. Nelson had that deflected by Aldridge, picked up by Matthews. Howard chasing it. Wesley going to take it into him and lay it in. Matthews so good at finishing and using the body to create space.
And Howard's smart enough to know, I don't want to get into foul trouble tonight. Last year he was in foul trouble. That's how Orlando lost down in Orlando to the Blazers.
Anderson for 3. He'll do that all night if you let him.
And he ranks 18th in the NBA in scoring, so he's just not a three-point threat. He can do other things.
Nate will have an early call to Jamal Crawford off the bench. He'll be in momentarily. Matthews to get it back, and he does over Richardson. And first time we've seen the 3 goggles from Wesley this season.
And I think that's because Patty Mills is in his attendance.
He looked up. We'll show you Patty. Howard in the middle. Foul going to be hopefully from behind on Matthews. No, I think they're going to call it on Aldridge.
Yeah.
No, it's on Camby. Excuse me. His second.
Yeah.
Here's the Matthews 3, and then a little peek to Patty Mills, who's sitting behind the Blazer bench. Felton out, so changes for Portland. Batum, Crawford, Kurt Thomas, all coming in.
Guys that didn't play a lot of minutes last night, for instance, Nicola only played 22, 23 minutes last night, and so he should
played
be
16 minutes last night.
Yeah. 16 was it?
Well, Nate, I asked him in the interview before the game if he would use his bench differently and distribute minutes differently. He said, "Yeah, I probably will."
Yeah,
and at times he said that, and then depending on the game, he'll change his mind. But obviously here tonight, here in the first quarter, there's an earlier call for this many changes to the bench as Orlando back on top by 9.
I think Camby played 30-some minutes last night.
Camby last night. Yes, 35.
Yeah, see, that's a lot of minutes for Camby. That's why he's getting
Crawford down low.
So you got to move the ball around and find out how Dwight Howard is playing. You have to, otherwise he gets every defensive rebound. Move him around.
Anderson defended that time by Aldridge. Here's Turkoglu, another 3, and this one long, and Thomas high for the rebound. Good box out that time. Jamal Crawford with it. Can Portland start forcing a little tempo in this game. Shovel to Thomas. That one short. Rebound to Anderson.
See, LA will be out on the perimeter all night long chasing Anderson because you know he's had 29 three-pointers this year. You got to check him.
Turkoglu, you forget, is 6'10". He tries to post up Crawford. And left another one short, so Turkoglu off to a 1-for-4 start.
He'll be back posting up if Crawford is checking.
Aldridge for 2. That one's off the mark. Portland, 6 of 14 here so far, and that's considering that they're heating up. Howard over Thomas. Good defense by Thomas. See if the Blazers again can try and run a little bit. Orlando getting back well so far. Matthews passed up the 3, and he's fouled on the drive. And the pass. Glenn Davis will check in. Chris Duhon also will check in for Orlando. Anderson and Jameer Nelson will sit down.
Big baby Davis has played well for this team in the limited time that he has had to practice with him and everything. But that was a good pickup, and I think Boston will miss him.
J.J. Redick in as well for Orlando. Trying to run Batum off a pick. He goes high over Turkoglu, and that one wasn't close. Davis, Turkoglu passed it up this time. Redick off the bench, drills that. You can see Orlando's offensive scheme. You park Howard inside, and you just spread three-pointers around the three-point shooters around the perimeter.
And if you have a high pick and roll and it caves in the defense, boy, they can shoot the 3.
They're 3 of 5 so far. Aldridge fouled by Davis. Second team foul on Orlando. We're down to 3:09 for the quarter. As Raymond Felton will come back in, Wesley Matthews will get the break.
And you can see LA has really improved that part of his game. When he has somebody that has slow feet checking him, he can put the ball on the floor and really power it in and pick up a foul.
Felton turns the corner. All the way to the rim, scoops it in. His first field goal. I guess the Trailblazers back within 8.
Did you see Kurt Thomas kind of clear everybody out and have really opened up a space for Raymond Felton?
Big man knows how to seal, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Turkoglu off a pick. They switch it now. Batum's up on Howard. Now Thomas switches back, and Duhon throws up and hits a 3.
Well, Duhon's not one of their great three-point shooters. They've been a little disappointed in his play, but boy, he put that one in.
Felton driving into Howard. Now needs some help. It's blocked from behind and poked away. Shot clock at 7 and a timeout on the floor. And made shots are contagious for a team as basic as that sounds in Orlando. Confident right now from behind the 2:21 left in quarter number 1. 26-15 Orlando on top of Portland. Well, check Trailblazers.com every Monday for the deal of the week, and this week's deal gets you tickets to 2 great games on the club level, plus 2 once-in-a-lifetime experiences. As Patty Mills in the stands here tonight, just back from China, and the crowd seeing Patty, a crowd favorite, obviously. Look what he's wearing.
Oh, he's
you like his taste and style.
He picked that up in Australia, probably. The Mike and Mike.
Anyway, back to the deal of the week. That includes 2 once-in-a-lifetime experiences, a private tour of the practice facility, and an exclusive meet and greet with Mike Rice.
Where?
I don't know. Find out more at Trailblazers.com. That's up to you.
I'll be there.
I'm supposed to be there too.
Okay.
But they come to see you. They settle for me.
Hard.
Orlando 63% shooting. Jamal Crawford working against Redick, and he hits that. Crawford.
That's what they need, the Blazers, right now. They need Crawford to step up. Nate had a nice talk with him at the shoot-around. They didn't have the shoot-around this morning. They had it at around 4:30 in the Rose Garden, and that big talk between Nate and I think it was to calm down Crawford, get him going again offensively.
Howard backing down Thomas. Flips it up, and it gets the roll. Aldridge nearly touched it.
He almost
Dwight
touched
Howard
it
first
in.
field goal.
Boy, and the thing is, if you help too much on him, Big Baby Davis gets that rebound.
Felton trying to go around Howard and stepped on the end line. Felton wanting a foul called on Howard. He played pretty good defense, moved the feet. Aldridge out, Craig Smith in for Portland.
You know, they may have to, when they bring LA back in, run some high pick and rolls and let, Davis will be checking him, or Howard, and let him shoot the outside shot from the angle.
Duhon and Turkoglu have the right side covered. Redick up top, and they drill another three. 5 of 7 so far, and that's not unusual for Orlando. 6th best in the NBA.
You've got to fight over the pick, especially on Redick.
Batum to get that one back, and he does.
Yeah. But you can't have a 3-point shootout against this team. That's why we made one of our keys get to the foul line, because you got to think of that, even with Howard in there.
Back door goes Redick. Nowhere to go. Turkoglu, wide open 3.
But once they start, that's why you got to get physical with the cutters. You can't let people, because if you're not picking up the cutters, someone else has to for you. That's when they hit a 3.
Here's Crawford with Redick and Davis in the area. Crawford a long 2, and he rattles that down. So Jamal Crawford, who Michael Holton told us would do this tonight, so far is. Redick lay-in, easy bucket after easy bucket for the Magic. 70% shooting.
Well, the two big guys in there, Craig Smith and Kurt Thomas, are not shot blockers, and they've got to be aware of the guys they're checking, because they're big, strong, so you can't let them get a run on the rebounds. So that's why you got to play head-up defense. Jamal Crawford on Redick.
Felt foul. They were trying to take the foul before he shot it, but I think he's going to get free throws here. Scott Foster is consulted.
They're going to take it out on the side.
Nate McMillan, just hearing about that, says, come on now.
Scott Foster came over and took, they were going to let him shoot because Carl Lane and Mark Lindsay had talked it over, and then Scott Foster ran over and said.
I've never seen Nate coach a game without a tie. Oh, you think he forgot his tie?
No.
We got to ask him. We got to get somebody on that.
Yeah,
it's more of a Stan Van Gundy look. Although Stan always goes open color.
Yeah.
Batum. Craig Smith says, I don't want that 3, but I'll take a 2. Redick. Foul to give. No hurt there, Mark Lindsay saying. First foul on Felton. But it does give Orlando a chance to set up. And
well, point 3, we'll say they better really set up. I would just have Dwight Howard right by the hoop, just throw it up and let him see if he can tip it in.
Or just inbound to Duhon, let the time run out.
Yeah,
they
either
figured,
one.
We've done enough here in the quarter so far. And they have 70% shooting for the Orlando Magic. We had talked about how they would come in rested and ready. Would that work for them, or would they be a little stagnant? I think we have the answer. And welcome back to Portland. We are through one quarter as Orlando a nice early lead over the Trailblazers. Hot shooting. As Wells Fargo, the official financial partner of the Trailblazers. Together we'll go far. Let's also go to the next game. We head out for San Antonio tomorrow and Friday night. Blazers and Spurs, the first of 6 straight on the road for Portland. Is Michael Holton on the sidelines. Can you explain any of that in the first quarter?
Yeah, Nate McMillan said 36 points is just too much. They got to get physical and connected to the Magic in order to slow the movement of the ball.
Well, that's exactly what they want to do. And as always, Nate says it starts defensively. Crawford, that's good defense support. Hit a tough shot there. Now over Redick, who had played pretty good defense.
I really looked at this and thought Crawford and Nicola they have to really come through tonight. They're the fresh ones. They're ready to score. And so far, it has been Crawford.
Anderson for three.
Holy moly.
They are 7 for 9 from behind the three-point line, and we've seen Portland start off ball games where it all of a sudden is contagious and everybody feels good and confident, and that's what happened here with Orlando.
They are good three-point shooters, but not this good.
Crawford's three is off. Craig Smith picks up the loose ball foul, fighting Glenn Davis. Pacific Office Automation stats through one quarter. That's what they looked like. You see the 6 for 8, which is now 7 for 9.
That's amazing. And we talked about in pre-game, it's not Dwight Howard, it's his threat.
Yeah.
And then it opens it up for the three-point shooters. And that's when they play well. When they're shooting the three well, they play well. As Dwight Howard can get 40 points, it doesn't mean a thing if they're not hitting outside shots.
That's Von Wafer, the former Trailblazer.
Still got the same haircut.
Yeah.
Faux hawk.
Another lay-in. They get you spread out, then attack the middle, and that's what happened there. And they're shooting 73% now, and the lead continues to grow. Felt nice move to the rim, couldn't hit it. Gerald Wallace, offensive rebound, couldn't hit it. And for the Trailblazers, we've seen this before. It is feast or famine for the Trailblazers, and when they are off, they are completely off. Redick, Davis, lay-in, and the foul.
And as you see, they just look like they're 2 steps quicker than the Blazers right now. The 2 days of practice really, after the Orlando beat Sacramento the other night, really has helped this ball club. You could see they're really moving the basketball well on the offensive end. And the Blazers, as we said earlier, they probably will go with a smaller lineup, just one big guy, and they have Kurt Thomas in there. They've got to move the ball now and make sure Gerald Wallace gets a chance to go one-on-one against Big Baby.
Von Wafer, too physical with Batum coming around the pick there, and picks up the first team foul on the Magic here in the second quarter. Magic have the game in their tempo. They've effectively taken away Portland's ability to run, and they're hitting everything they're looking at. That's why they've got a 20-point lead. Felt. For Portland, when there gets to be a lid on it, they just don't know how a lot of times how to take it off. And for Magic, a rare miss from behind the three-point line by Anderson.
Yeah, and that time no one else touched the ball. He just shot it.
Crawford, top of the key. And as soon as Orlando cools slightly, the Blazers do. Portland shooting 41%. Magic 70.
Oh.
Wafer gets a pick from Davis. Offensive foul. Batum run down. Nate McMillan would like to leave Aldridge on the bench a little longer, but he can't afford to.
No.
It's already a 20-point deficit. Kurt Thomas will sit down.
See, and they leave Anderson in, and they don't lose a lot of defensive rebounds when they have him in there and Dwight Howard out of the game.
And Portland will call timeout. Little different feel in the arena right now than we had less than 24 hours ago. 9:13 left first half. This garden sold out as usual. Sold out for the 166th straight time. Not a lot to cheer about so far for the home fans. 9:13 left in the first half. All Orlando, a 20-point lead. All right, steal of the game time. This is a buy one get one offer, Coach Rice. Purchase 2 tickets to the January 24th Memphis game and get 2 tickets of equal or lesser value to the February 1st Charlotte game for only $30.
That's not bad.
503-797-9600 or check out trailblazers.com. Crawford goes down as the Blazers try to inbound. Wallace takes it at Davis. And Davis playing some pretty good defense, and Orlando able so far to be very physical. Anderson misses that 3. So he's missed a couple straight after hitting his first 3. That foul's going to be on Anderson. That's his first. Trying to lob over the top to Aldridge without Dwight Howard in there right now.
And the timeout by Nate was call simply because to get the Blazer organized and tell them what matchups they had. And they started right away going to Gerald Wallace against Big Baby. He missed a layup at the rim, and this is the second thing they talked about probably.
There's a foul on Von Wafer. Away from the ball and the cutting Batum. Third team foul on the Magic.
Von Wafer would have been good about 20 years ago in the NBA when they let you use your hands. You could bump cutters, be physical. He's very physical, and they just, I wish he'd stay in the game because they're bringing in Jason Richardson, who has had some good nights against the Blazers in the past with Phoenix. Yeah.
Crawford, shot clock at 9. Aldridge offering the high pick. Both defenders momentarily go with Aldridge. Aldridge now over Anderson, and he drills that. Third field goal for Aldridge, 6 points.
And that's that high pick and roll we were talking about, angle. They're jumping, they're hedging out on the dribbler, and they're kind of leaving L.A., although Anderson got back pretty well that time.
Redick, Anderson passes up the 3. Davis, though, over the top. A place you would think a big guy would go glass. He goes straight in and hit it.
Well, they have the Blazers now thinking about that three-point shot. They're out around the perimeter.
Batum thinking about that three-point shot and drills it.
Well, they need to make some stops now. Their offense is more in a flow right now, the Blazers. So they've got that going. Now can they get the defense going?
Redick pulls up with the jumper. And wouldn't stay. Aldridge the rebound. Portland trying to get a fast break bucket here. Crawford from 18. Long. Aldridge grabs the board. Fights to the middle and missed it. Rebound Davis.
Well, you can see they're half a step quicker now, the Blazers, on offense. How can they get it going on defense?
Duhan. Redick wide open for 3. Missed it. Boy, that does Portland a big favor there.
Well, they didn't push to the...
Batum to the middle. Missed the shot. He'll shoot free throws, but an aggressive Nick Batum on the second of a back-to-back is what you have to have.
And you can see the Blazers now are picking up the offensive end. That will help them, but if they let people in, go up, drive up the lane like they did on the last possession, because Redick, they're not going to miss, and Anderson, they're not going to miss wide open shots. Look at, they have a Orlando free throw man up in the blue shirt waving. Someone will hit him with a Kabasi.
I don't know how long his night will last in that end zone.
Yeah.
That sea of red. And Batum makes both. And the Trailblazers a 15-point deficit now. 7 minutes still left here in the first half. Plenty of time for the Trailblazers, who can score points in a hurry.
Jason Richardson's trying to get involved now in the offense.
Matthews got caught up in an Anderson pick. Nobody helped out. They've got to either switch that pick or I guess go under it.
Yeah,
trying harder to get through it.
Or bump, shadow Jason Richardson a little closer.
Crawford to get that 3 back. He might get 4 out of it as Duhan fouled him on the arm.
Well, early in the game, offense was a problem with flow. It isn't now. The Blazers have a nice thing going now. They're making shots. Then Jamal Crawford, that's what he was brought to the Blazers to do. Spark them when things aren't going well. And he is so far. Now let's see if defensively.
And that is his 34th career 4-point play.
Oh.
Did you know that?
I knew he had a lot. I didn't know he had 34. But with the Hawks, he led the NBA in that category.
Howard. The bunny hop through the middle. Draws the entire Blazer defense. And a 3 is drilled by Jameer Nelson. When Orlando cools off, if that ever happens, Portland maybe could stage some kind of a comeback. 9 of 14 from behind the 3-point line, the Magic.
That time, Dwight Howard, he just had too much help trying to stop him. Don't try to stop him.
Wallace sealing a lane off for Crawford. We're going to get 3 3 in the key.
Scott Foster is getting inventive.
Scott Foster is rarely wrong.
I didn't say he was wrong all the time.
I'm going to assume he was right in this case too, because that's usually a safe assumption with him. Howard, step through, hook, up and in. Orlando answering.
See, and
Any Portland thoughts about a comeback?
Yeah, and that time the Blazers were kind of hedging a little to help, but they were staying on those three-point shooters. When Orlando's making that three-point shot like they are, oh, are they tough to defend.
Aldridge puts it on the deck. Fouled by Anderson. Yes, his second. Anderson was thinking about setting up and trying to draw the offensive foul, and then tried to move, and contact was there. Aldridge didn't put it down, but he will shoot free throws when we come back. But Orlando still a sizzling 6. Orlando outscored Portland 36-22 in the first. They're outscoring him 18-13 here in the second. Still 5:34 left first half. All going well for the road team. Well, don't miss your Blazers when they return to the Rose Garden for the next homestand. Upcoming home games include Sacramento on January 23rd, Memphis on January 24th, the Suns on January 27th. Get your tickets by calling 503-797-9600, or you can go to trailblazers.com. After this 6-game road trip, we get back, and Portland will have its first of 2 back-to-back-to-back scenarios.
Yes. It won't be any easier than I think in this game tonight is on just a back-to-back. And I might add that Orlando, the teams they've beat this year are 13-40, so they haven't played a strong schedule at all in their 6-3 record. And most of the attention has been on, of course, Dwight Howard, whether he's going to stay, whether they're going to trade him before the trade deadline. And, you know, it was a distraction, and they haven't been playing great basketball. That's all ending so far in this first half. They really look as good as I've seen Orlando in the last 5 years.
Well, you always say, and as a former coach, you got a pretty good read on this. If you get a day to practice or a couple of days to practice, what a difference it can make.
Yeah, it makes a difference in your execution, because all of a sudden you're doing things to stop the little things.
Richardson open 3.
See, Dwight Howard really looked over the defense to see who was open. He hadn't been doing that. He's been shooting it, powering it in. That time, boy, he looked like a great center.
Orlando 10 of 15 from behind the three-point line. Aldridge short. I mean, Portland has not played well offensively, but when a team is 10 of 15 from behind the three-point, and Portland is a good team at defending the three-point line.
Yes, 24% they're holding the opponents to.
Not tonight. No, that's a turnover.
They're not so good at the two-point range that the opponents are getting 50% of their shots, but three-point, they're really doing it. That's because they don't double team a lot. And right now, they're not quite sure how to handle this Orlando team. I don't know how you would the way they're shooting.
And a great job by Orlando to immediately, well, of course, they sat in Portland in their hotel rooms and watched last night's game, but to immediately jump on the Trailblazers just from the opening tip. It's been like this. Sometimes, as they say in the NBA, as Aldridge with 3 to shoot, hit it. Sometimes in the NBA, an early double-digit lead or a first quarter double-digit lead means nothing. In this game, you could tell it meant something.
Yeah, they're continuing to pass to each other. Really.
Steal, Matthews. Portland finally in a passing lane. Wesley lost it off his foot. Now goes to Aldridge, who has the catch on Anderson. He has 2 fouls. They bring a double. Wallace doesn't look at the 3. Batum. As Orlando closed well. Batum steps in and hits. 10 first half points for Nick Batum. He and Crawford each with 10 off the bench.
Right, and that's the guys that needed to step up, and so far they have on the offensive end.
Turkoglu to Anderson. He wants to post up Matthews. Trying to draw a foul. Just throws it at the rim. The rebound tips off of Aldridge and right to Howard. New 24.
Crowd, I give them credit. They're trying to get into the game.
Anderson, he lost that one. It nearly went in. Howard picks it up and is fouled 2 times on that possession. There were loose balls to be had. And both times ended up in the hands of an Orlando Magic player. And Howard, who made his last 2 free throws after missing his first 2, gets back there now. 6 points, 7 rebounds so far.
Now remember, Camby's averaging just about 10 rebounds a game. You don't have him in there. You don't have Kurt Thomas in there, Craig Smith. The Blazers, in order to get their offense going, went to a smaller lineup.
And to chase around 3-point shooters.
Absolutely, to do both. Now, boy, they're suffering a little bit on that backboard, and second chance points in the paint. It's tough defending Howard and big baby Davis at the same time with a small lineup, but that's what the Blazers need to get back into the game.
Missed a pair again.
Or just foul, do the Hacka Howard.
Yeah.
Although he made 2, didn't he?
Yeah, he made his second 2.
Yeah.
Second set of 2. Felton kicks it back to Aldridge. And LaMarcus now with 12 in the first half, 5 of 10. Blazers would love to build some kind of momentum here in these final 3 minutes.
Well, they know now they can score on Orlando. They're moving the ball well. They're doing good things. Now it's, can we stop them on this end?
Howard leaning on Aldridge. LaMarcus swipes it away, picked up by Wallace, who tried to give it to Aldridge, and he tapped it back to Wallace, saying, "You take it." Felton sees an open lane. Inside, goes left, no. Rebound tipped, Howard grabs. Blazers miss another shot in close. Lob. Wallace takes it away. Down goes Richardson. Then the pass is thrown behind Batum and out of bounds.
Nicholas was hiding too much.
As Batum was going to jam that down because the left side was open. The defensive gem by Wallace, but the Blazers can't take advantage of the other. Well, you saw Patty Mills wearing the Mike and Mike Make It Better shirt tonight. That's that shirt. The proceeds go to charity. Go to the Make It Better Foundation. You can get your shirt at the fan shop at the Rose Garden, or log on to wearsmyshirt.com. W-E-A-R-S. Wearsmyshirt.com. $25 is all, Coach Rice.
Yeah.
And you're doing some good.
Yeah. Make It Better Foundation of the Blazers.
Shot clock at 6 for Orlando. Turkoglu gets a pick way out high. Howard rambles to the rim. Aldridge breaks it up. Shot clock at 1. Turkoglu's 3 is long. The way things have gone in the first half, everyone expected that to go in.
I did. Really did.
Wallace takes it right at Turkoglu and lays it in.
Boy, I'll tell you, that's strong right there.
First field goal for Gerald Wallace in the half.
Yeah.
Blazers down only 12.
Someone's got to tell him he's in the Rose Garden. You're home. Boy, that was a strong physical move.
Jameer Nelson. Inside, Howard low. Aldridge just wraps him up. Second foul on LA. I don't think they'll give free throws here.
No.
The foul came before the pass was entered.
And, you know, the Blazers, there was good ball movement by Orlando that time. They had the Blazers moving all around. That's why Dwight Howard, with his strength, was wide open in that 3-second lane.
They'll get LA out of the game now.
Yeah.
Next dead ball. Travel. Mark Lindsay. He's done his homework. He knows what the points of emphasis are this year for officials. That right there is one of them. Turkoglu shoots a 3-pointer well after the whistle. Crowd wanted to delay a game warning. They're educated as well.
Yes. They were taking LA out with Kurt Thomas, but the Blazers went to the offense. So they're going to leave him in and probably try a nice high pick and roll for Marcus Aldridge.
You see the run is 10-3 as of now. Portland needs to finish it. Aldridge hesitates. Wallace going to go at Howard. Boy, again, that's just too strong. Right into Glenn Davis and went right through it.
Boy, that was strong. That's what the Blazers were missing.
10-point game. Blazers need to stop. Nelson. Now Davis into Wallace, trying to repay the favor. Glenn Davis fades and gets the roll.
Oh.
The Portland having some success in getting this game up-tempoed a bit.
Yeah.
Orlando has not given up 100 this year. Felton, tough shot from the elbow.
Boy, he had L.A. wide open.
Redick. Long rebound, chase down. Now Orlando can hold for a final shot, just about.
Dwight Howard wasn't too happy. He was wide open. L.A. was about 10 steps from it. They're going to take a 20. They'll get L.A. out of the ball game now.
Aldridge with 12 points in the first half. Crawford 10, Batum 10. Blazers at 46% shooting now, and that's really come up from where it was at, and Orlando has come down. They're at 62%. They were over 70 most of that first quarter, and again, their hits from behind the three-point line, the reason they built a 20-point lead.
And this is when Nate would just as soon prefer not to go in for a halftime. You got a little momentum going, you got the defense going. Forget about being tired. The Blazers have that out of their minds now. Now they're into a game where they have to dig out of a big hole, but they have to go in at halftime and talk it over. Now watch Anderson. He's the guy they love to use on these into the half shots. They have Gerald Wallace on. Gerald won't forget about it.
Nelson. The shot clock is just ahead of the game clock. Jameer Nelson spots an open Anderson. You called it, unfortunately.
I wish I could have called it out to them.
Felton. Three. Got it! Gets the three right back, and he wanted the foul as well as he looked to Carl Lane, the rookie official, and said, how about an and one?
Boy, is this a big basket right here.
Sure is. Right in front of us, and you could tell it was online. Officials will review it, but it easily beat the clock.
Oh, yes.
And maybe some of that momentum that the Trailblazers had and then lost, they got back. McDonald's halftime show coming up. Adam and Michael will break it all down. Blazers down 12 at the half.
Portland Trailblazers basketball is being brought to you by the $6 Burger, only at Carl's Jr. By Mart, just right for the Northwest. And by Spirit Mountain Casino, featuring your favorite slots and more. Make a night of it.
And back inside the Rose Garden at halftime as it's winding down, getting set for the start of the third quarter. Orlando on top of the Trailblazers by 12, 62-50. And welcome back courtside. Mike Barrett back with Mike Rice. It was a steady barrage of three-point bombs from the Magic that helped them build a lead as great as 20. Blazers had a couple of times to get it to single digits, but can't feel too lousy considering how well Orlando shot.
Yeah, when you're 11 for 18, you're not quite sure what to do because you have to go out and defend that. And they have one of the best big guys, probably the best center in the NBA, according to the All-Stars and everything. But this is, you can see, they're 24 for 38. And the Blazers, very respectable, 20 for 42. The way they're going, but 11 for 8 from the three-point line. Blazers 5 for 7. That's not bad. They could do better at the foul line. They're 5 for 5. When the other team has more foul shots and they're shooting like they are on the three-point, there's not a lot of comeback that you can make. Rebounds, look at that, 24 to 13. So they've controlled the stat sheet. Now let's see if the Blazers control the heart.
And Portland had so many fast break opportunities that they did not capitalize on in that first half. And really shots in close, in tight, lay-ins and putbacks that just didn't fall. Let's revisit your local Ford store's keys to the game. That's one thing we're talking about, second chance points.
Yeah, it's not killing the Blazers, but you can't let Orlando, if they miss a shot, get a second chance. Win the foul line, well, that's kind of debatable. The Blazers are making more, but and they don't have anybody really in foul trouble. LA has 2. Shoot well from 3. Well, that's the stat that's killing the Blazers. We said if they just could stay even, they'd win this ball game, but they're not staying even. 11 for 18. Now let's see if Orlando cools off a little bit and the Blazers continue the momentum they built up in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter.
Well, this is the only meeting between these two teams this season, as we mentioned earlier. Blazers have won 3 straight in this battle. They won at Orlando last year and Miami. Only one of only 3 NBA teams to sweep Florida last year. It was Dallas, Utah, and Portland, if memory serves.
Yes. And if you look, we were talking about free throws. The Blazers usually make around 22 a game. They've made 5 tonight. So they're way behind. They're letting Dwight Howard dominate that paint on the defensive end.
Trailblazers started the game tonight a little flat-footed and just kind of waiting, and Orlando took immediate advantage of that. Wallace's 3, which really could have helped lift Portland here in the opening moments, is off the back bracket. And Orlando now with it.
And Wesley had a good shot at it, but he saw that Gerald had a better shot, so gave it to Gerald.
Turkoglu leans and gets a kind bounce.
Now, like you mentioned earlier, Turkoglu's 6'10", and when he gets, passing the ball and leaning towards the hoop. Oh.
Matthews didn't get a good catch on that and then missed the 3.
Man.
And now Orlando a chance to get off to a solid opening couple of minutes, and here it is. Nelson lays it in. So a couple of quick buckets, a couple of missed buckets by Portland, and the Blazers right back down 16.
Now Nate will have to decide if he wants to go small a lot earlier than he did the first half.
Matthews to Felton. Wallace wouldn't take the 3. Gerald steps to the middle. That's goaltending on Howard.
Now the Blazers have to get back into what they were doing. They were very physical on the defensive end at the end of that first half. They've got to get back where they're not worried about Dwight Howard as much. And as we said, Nate has to decide, should I go without a center and put LaMarcus Aldridge there for the benefit of the offense?
Howard squares up on Aldridge. It's Howard waiting for cutters. One of them is Turkoglu. Missed that one. Gerald Wallace, Nate McMillan waving his arm, go, 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 on some kind of tempo created by Portland. They were unable to do that in the first quarter. Kind of got it going in the second. Mismatch opportunity. Ball goes through the legs of Felton. Still 8 to shoot. Matthews for 3. It's long. Camby tries to keep it alive and does momentarily, but then Howard grabs it. Rebound number 9 for Dwight Howard.
Orlando's not a running team at all, but the Blazers.
Howard hooks that up and in. Nate McMillan has to call an early timeout. Not the start the Trailblazers were hoping for to the second half, following up the start to the game. 9:51 here to go. The Trailbreakers having a successful go of it during the quarter break. Trailblazers not so far here in the third quarter. Just a couple of minutes in, though. Time for Rice's ridiculous deal. Tonight, your ridiculous deal. I really thought for tonight you'd bust out a sharp-looking jacket or something and give us a screaming deal, but you've given us free shipping. But when you look between the lines on this, it's actually a good deal. Like a free throw guy, he probably got that jacket with free shipping on Rice's ridiculous deal. It's almost an $8 savings on every online order, and it's only good through tomorrow at 10 p.m. So if you want free shipping, log on trailblazersfanshop.com. You see how he started off critical, but then I turned that into a positive.
You sure did.
Felton, offensive foul, Portland, turnover.
What you're saying is anybody has a mother-in-law out there that wants to ship somewhere,
right?
You can ship her free.
Or does your mother in Florida have Blazers gear?
Oh, yes. She's wearing it right now, watching this game and criticizing everything because she knows her hoops.
Howard can't hit that one. Camby, who Nate McMillan is staying with for now.
Yeah.
Felton takes it at the body of Howard, and he picks up the foul. Howard is a guy who can get into foul trouble. Boy, Sacramento did on Sunday quickly, but that's his first foul in this game.
When the game is more up-tempo, see, they've had time to look at tape the last 2 days and see how they've, because Stan Van Gundy was not happy after the Sacramento game. He said, our defense is terrible. He's always talking about defense, so that's why they don't run more. They more of a half-court offensive team. But, you know, he's got them playing under control tonight, and they're doing a nice job of funneling everything into the big guy. Ooh. So now they have to come up with a 10-0 run. They need a run. You and Doug have to perform this run.
Doug's always ready. Richardson. Tough to get on a run if you're allowing easy lay-ins, and that's what Portland started off this game doing. I mean, Orlando, they're going to be remembered for hitting all those threes in the first half, but what got it started was that steady line to the rim of just laying balls in. I think their first 5 were lay-ins. Wallace passes up the 3. Matthews takes the hit from Howard, who went straight up, good no call, and he banked it in.
Yeah, the Blazers now are attacking more. They could have had a 3-point shot there, but the idea is let's get our momentum going towards the rim.
Richardson. Out of bounds. Turnover.
Well,
look at that first half.
and that's, you know, they have some other outside shooters too. That's just Reddick, Richardson, and Ryan Anderson. You know, they have about 5 guys on that team that can really.
Jameer Nelson can hit him. Hito Turkoglu had 2 in the first half. Felt zips it past to Camby. Marcus, a step-through move on Howard. Blazers, not the shot they were hoping for on that possession. Nelson for 3.
See, as I said, he's shooting 37%, 22% from the three-point line. And boy, not tonight.
Felton misses in close. He knew Howard was lurking in the area. Nelson playing pick and roll with Howard.
I thought it was going to be an alley-oop.
Turkoglu for 3. Here we go again.
Yeah, they're going with Nicola now, and I think they'll take out Camby and go small again like they did, and just have to fight Dwight Howard.
Matthews splits a double and gives it over Howard.
See, there'll be a lot more of that open with small, but then you have to find a way to fight Dwight Howard, which I think the Blazers still can do with a smaller lineup. 9 points for Matthews. Orlando goes back to Howard against Camby. 3-pointer out top. What do you think? 21. This now their largest lead of the game. As Orlando just throwing darts from the outside tonight. Backing off and daring Matthews. Take a 3, and now he does. On the rebound to Howard, who has 11. Portland better be careful here. Not that it's not already a 21-point lead for the Magic. And Howard backs right through Aldridge, slapping at it, but backing away and giving ground. Yeah, Orlando extending the lead, building on it. Camby gives up about 40 pounds to that guy, and
that lob was sniffed out. Obviously worked on it practice yesterday.
They can't get Batum in the game. There's been no stoppages.
Howard going to lean on Camby again. Howard in that lane a long time. There's a 3-second call. So Crawford and Batum will come in. Camby and Felton will sit down. Tough to use Marcus Camby much in this ball game. You see why Nate goes small.
Yeah, you know, after playing 35 minutes last night, and now you have to lean up against Dwight Howard. That's difficult. But I think this is their best offensive group in there anyway.
Gerald Wallace. Crawford, open look over Nelson, hit it.
See, now you have to check Nicholas. Anderson does. Before, they were kind of not playing Camby and just bottling up the middle with one guy and then getting to the shooters also.
Nelson, Anderson.
Tell me he missed.
Yeah, he did. Portland trying to get on some kind of run again. Gerald Wallace from the corner, short. They just haven't all night gotten the shot to extend or to get the crowd in the game. Every time they've been close, the next key shot is missed. Luke Babbitt heads to the table for Portland. So Babbitt, who just was recalled from the NBDL before the game yesterday, was hustled back from the Idaho Stampede. And this is what, quite frankly, what you have asked for watching Babbitt in practice, an opportunity for him.
I don't know if you want the opportunity against Big Baby Davis. He'll be banging around underneath.
Offensive foul. David Davis.
Set the pick, rolling pick. They really cleaned that up. That used to be a way to get back at someone you didn't like in the NBA. You ran him off a rolling pick and they jarred your teeth. Now you can't move that pick at all.
Aldridge from Crawford. 14 for LaMarcus.
See, that's because the big guy has to check him. The big guy didn't want to go out on him.
Howard asked for it back against LaMarcus. Spins baseline, missed a little bank in, and Babbitt grabs the rebound. Crawford, top of the key, long. Batum tips it out top to Matthews. Babbitt, got to look at that three. That's why you're in there. Here it is. Long.
Crowd knows he can shoot that three, and you're right. He's got to take it.
Should have taken the first one.
Yeah, that's why you're in there. Don't be afraid to shoot it.
Nelson.
Well, Jameer Nelson knows what winning's all about. When he played for St. Joe's in Philadelphia, they were 27-0. They went to the Elite Eight with that ball club. And
Delonte West was on that team.
Delonte West was the other guard in that backcourt.
Batum. Been that kind of night every time.
Yes.
Portland feels like they're on the verge of a run. A couple of key misses. And a couple of made Orlando shots. Just like that.
Well, I was wondering how Rutgers beat Pitt tonight at Pitt. I see it right here in Orlando. If you get hot and you play a controlled game, and that's what Orlando, they just, I mean, they have done very, very little wrong. You know, you can say, well, the Blazers played last night and everything, but Orlando's playing a heck of a game. And when this guy makes a shot, oh, nice.
Aldridge, you don't want to save it under your opponent's hoop, and he knew he had the crowd on that side, thought he'd try the other. Crawford and Aldridge, two-man game. Aldridge pops, left open momentarily. That one didn't. Marcus needs a little more time than that to shoot it. Short arm and quick. Now Howard. Good defense. Jump. No, I thought I was going to say jump ball, but foul on LaMarcus. And a timeout on the floor. So Orlando started off the third very aware that Portland was going to mount a well, chilly night in Portland, a chilly stay for the Orlando Magic. They've been here since Monday, but that rest has been paying off so far. Steal of the game time. Once again, it's a buy one, get one offer. Purchase 2 tickets to the Memphis game on January 24th and get 2 tickets of equal or lesser value to the Charlotte game on February 1st for only $30. Call 503-797-9600 or visit trailblazers.com right now. Orlando's still shooting 64% in this game.
And when you do that, you can take chances a little more on defense.
Sure.
Leave people open and put the pressure on the other team. They only give up 90 points a game, but a lot of that has to do with the tempo they play. But tonight, they're pushing it up a little bit more than they usually do. We just like this guy to make a foul shot, but no.
2 for 7.
Even when they're 20 up.
Were you suggesting the free throw guy would take the rest of the night off?
I would think that as long as this guy, what he should do is get a hold of Joel Crisvilla and find out how Joel improved his shooting.
2 for 8 is Howard. But when you're up 18 late in the third, you can probably miss some and not care that much about it. Crawford. Short, and Howard rips down the rebound.
Man, he gets rebounds and they haven't even got to the rim yet coming down.
Every time I watch him do it, I think Greg Oden.
Yes, that's perfect. That's how Greg would grab rebounds.
Davis working on Babbitt. Takes him hard. Babbitt played pretty good D and caused the miss.
Now they've got to run Davis around from that perimeter.
Babbitt to Matthews. Matthews fouled by Reddick. Wesley, a good game last night. Hit a couple of clutch free throws late as Portland was holding on against the Clippers. A physical, grinded out playoff type win over the Clippers. And you know the question will be asked after this one if Portland doesn't come back. How much of a toll did that take on the Trailblazers? And again, you can't blame anything on that because everybody's going to go through the back-to-backs. But how big a factor was it last night?
Well, now where it's a factor is trying to make a comeback. You know, when and now you can talk yourself into saying, boy, you know, last night's taken it. But at the start of the ball game, there was no, you know, Nate was ready, you know, the team was ready, and Orlando just played, you know, tremendous in the first quarter. They put the Blazers way behind, and now they haven't been able to dig themselves out. Now the fatigue factor comes in mentally.
Davis wants to go on Batum. Aldridge hanging there. Davis does Batum a favor and takes a 16-foot jumper.
So they've got to move those big guys around. Keep them.
Matthews through the middle. Tough shot. Somehow got it down over a couple of outstretched arms.
Well, he's doing that so much better this year. Wesley Matthews putting the ball on the ground and doing something with it.
Anderson posting up on Matthews. Knocked away by Aldridge. Blazers trying to chase down the ball and do. Shot clock is off. Crawford very good at these end of the quarter situations from 3. This time he goes inside. Aldridge along 2 is long. And the Magic holding off the Trailblazers time and time again. They'll take an 85-68 lead to quarter number 4. Well, the Orlando Magic came in loose and ready to roll tonight. You see the Pacific Office Automation stats through 3. Orlando
that hasn't changed.
Yeah, it has put up 36 points in the first quarter, their highest scoring quarter of the year.
Yeah.
They'd been averaging 24 points per first quarter. They were ready tonight, as we said, off the top. Were rested and ready to roll and led this game 8-0. We mentioned at the time, you get the feeling Portland will be trying to dig out of this hole the entire night, and here they are, and the hole gets deeper.
62% and going up. That's, I mean, they just have not slowed up. They're playing an almost perfect game, Orlando, on both ends. Really jumping out on the pick and roll plays, changing the dribblers.
Crawford crossing over multiple times on Reddick and then hits the bar.
And even that is a tough shot.
Yeah.
Reddick was right in his grill.
Richardson open for three. Somehow missed that one. Davis, though, the rebound. Now wants it inside against Felton. Blazers have to cheat over with Wallace. The open man is Anderson, who flips it in.
Blazers have tried a lot of different schemes and a lot of different lineups. They're just getting to all the shooters.
Felton wants to attack Duhon. Thomas tried to grab it, but Toon grabbed it. Duhon fouled in from behind. Free throws coming. Michael Holton, what does a coach say at a time like this? And I guess more specifically, what was Nate saying during the quarter break?
Well, he said he wanted to get a trap when the ball came across half court and kind of scramble out of it and see if he could interrupt Orlando that way. And the first possession they did it, and Orlando missed a three. So look for the Blazers to get one trap and rotate out in their half court defense.
Well, if Orlando was taking the quick shot, that would be perfect, but they are making the extra pass time and time again.
And Batum makes a pair. Nick with 12 off the bench tonight. Portland, though, shooting just 43%. You compare that to Orlando's 62.
That's because they have 23 assists and 34 field goals. Not bad. Yeah.
That's when you know you're hitting your outside shots.
Oh, yeah.
Reddick going against Thomas, works around him, missed it. Rebound, Thomas. Hands off to Crawford. Blazers 3-on-2 if they hurry. Batum, Felton. Crawford, that's the guy you want to cover if you're Orlando. They had everybody else covered. Jamal Crawford was there, and he's got 20 now. Blazer fans, they're not going to quit on this one.
Yeah, this is the last big push. The fans know it, so they're trying to get him going. Defense is the call.
Trying to tie him up. Wallace nearly did. Still bottled up, and he stepped to the sideline. And now the crowd will get a little more revved up. Turnover, Duhon. That's the 14th turnover by Orlando. Gerald Wallace is.
Yeah, they're going after it. Michael Holton was right. Nate wanted that trap just to throw them out of their rhythm, and so far, so good.
Still a ton of time left in this game. Reddick
holding.
Crawford move.
Man, he's done everything but hit him with a hammer.
Felton had the open three, passed it up. Here's the hot man in Jamal Crawford. There's another three. That one's off. Reddick was right there in his face. Played that good defense.
Yeah, that's how Reddick has improved his game. His defense.
Davis shuffled the feet before he started his move. So back-to-back turnovers by Orlando. Now, this happened in the first half, and that's when Portland stopped taking advantage of such things. They can't, they just don't have time to continue to do that here.
Yeah, you can't miss any foul shots. You can't miss open shots. When you're making a comeback and you're 15 down, you got to do everything right, all the small things.
Crawford passed up the three. Felton does not. He takes the three, missed it. Thomas tried to grab it, and Reddick the rebound. Up ahead to Richardson. Bad pass. It's out of bounds to Portland. And a full timeout. 15-point lead with 8:44 left. Trailblazers will continue to push. 8:44 left here in Portland. The Trailblazers' spotless home record is on the line here tonight. Blazers 6-0 coming in. Orlando been red hot since the start. Their lead is 15. Alaska Airlines and the Trailblazers want to know where in the world our fans are wearing their gear. Send us your shot to the For Fans page on trailblazers.com. How about a little bike trip through Cambodia? Jesse Hollander of Portland wearing his Blazer uni while on a bike in Cambodia. Do you think he flew his own bike over there or rented one?
That looks like my bike. The one that I left on my deck.
Your garage gets broken into about twice a week and your bike gets stolen. You got to get a neighborhood watch program going on down in John's Landing.
Or a lock.
Or a lock with us. Aldridge from Felton reverses it in.
Yeah. Well, one stop and another basket, and the Blazers will get everybody thinking comeback.
It's a 7-0 run right now.
But they need to stop here.
Duhan, Redick. Orlando has continued to answer in these situations all night. Howard has it stripped away. They turn it over. Blazers. 4-on-3. Gerald Wallace for three. Good! It's a 10-0 Portland run.
They're looking over at Stan Van Gundy. He said, play on, play on. We've got a 10-point lead. 7 minutes to go. Play on.
Here's Howard. Inside, jump hook, got it. He nearly lost it as Crawford came down and tried to knock it away.
I think Raymond Felton could come and leave Duhan. Duhan's the guy that I don't think will make a basket in late in the game.
Felton for two, short. The rebound, Davis. Anderson, Redick for two.
Boy, that was smart by Stan Van Gundy not to call the timeout there.
Big miss, big make.
So it went from 10 to 14 real quick. And it came because Dwight Howard got a nice power move inside.
And you know this is the thing that Stan Van Gundy's been telling his team during the timeouts. Has been talking about the fact that Portland's going to make a run, that they are very difficult to beat here in Portland and to be ready for it. So far, Orlando has. The lead is 12.
Yeah. The Blazers cut it to 10. That power move by Dwight, that was a confidence builder for the whole ball club that they could score still inside.
They go back to Howard.
See, that time Felton came down, but he came down too slow. Once Dwight Howard puts it on the ground, he's not going to pass the ball. He never passes out of the dribble. Right there, he should be down there. See, not reaching in. Go after him. Boy, that sure did look like a little step sit.
Hibbertfoot moved around quite a bit.
Yeah.
Tough to watch, though, when you're trying to watch everything else.
Well, the Blazer end zone will come alive.
Howard, 2 of 8 at the free throw line. That one not close.
Yeah. See, and if Raymond goes down there right away, he doesn't have to worry about fouling. Reach in and get physical because you're going to put Dwight Howard on the foul line. So that's a lot better than that dunk he had earlier. Foul the guy. But it can't be LaMarcus Aldridge. It has to be someone like Raymond leaving Duhan open. Now they got Jameer Nelson. They can still leave him also. He's made 3 tonight.
Missed a pair.
Oh.
Blazers fortunate to dig that out of that scrum.
Boy, they sure will. Oh. All right, this is a crucial.
Still over half the quarter left. Crawford was the hot man in the third. Working against Redick here, trying to get a pick from Aldridge. He skips it to Felton. Shot clock at 4. Felton tipped. Aldridge has it. Got to go up. Felton doesn't see it. Shot clock violation.
Gotta know. You gotta know. A lost possession right there.
Can't afford many of those right now. 5:57 to go in this one. Trailblazers. Orlando still holding a double-digit lead. It's 12 with just under 6 to play in the game here in Portland. Orlando trying to stop a little 3-game slide in the head-to-head series with the Blazers. Well, time for the LifeWise most dependable player. And tonight, the guy that was keeping Portland within striking distance to potentially mount a comeback. How's that for a description?
Yeah.
Jamal Crawford, 20 points, 8 of 14, shooting 3 of 5 from three-point range. So at the very least, he looks like he's gotten his shooting touch back tonight. It took kind of a wide open game and situation where you're kind of fearlessly jacking up threes with not a whole lot to lose when you're down that big, but he has played well, and that's the Life-wise, most dependable player. Life-wise, boringly good.
And
Kind of like Doug Carter.
yeah, J.J. Redick has really done a nice job of making the shots difficult that Jamal Crawford's taking. Now they got, well, they'll put, Redick will stay on him and really fight him, almost like a boxing one.
Turkoglu gets a pick from Howard, who rambles inside. Davis kicks his feet on that little jumper and leaves it short.
They'd like Davis taking that all night long rather than big Dwight Howard getting it underneath in the paint.
It's Crawford's time for Portland. Orlando knows it too. They're following him around. Crawford, Aldridge for 2, and he rims it in.
Well, now they've got it to 10. Now it's just each possession is like a holy war. Now you gotta dig in right now.
Aldridge with 18. Nelson. Turkoglu. Davis through the middle. Gets it down on Wallace.
Each time now they've gone inside. Once to Dwight Howard, that time to the LSU grad, Big Baby. Boy, he powered that one in.
They're leaving Aldridge. They don't want to leave the threes. They left one there. Wesley Matthews, an unusually high arc on that shot. He's not a guy that drops rainbows down like Crawford, but he was forced to do it there and hit it. It's a 9-point game.
Single digits. Now each time down, you got to think this is it right here. I got to stop it. Get that mentality.
Nelson, short rebound. Aldridge whaps it away from Howard. Matthews, full head of steam on Redick.
Yeah, don't force it. That was good thinking by Wesley Matthews.
Aldridge, back to Crawford. Jamal, open 3, off the mark. Rebound, Aldridge tips out front. Crawford, inside Wallace. Stripped away, and a foul called on Turkoglu. Free throws coming. Turkoglu didn't even know it.
No. All right, that's a good thing. They attacked. They didn't just rely on outside shooting.
That 3 looked online. It was a little long.
Well, and I'll tell you, the Blazers were really fortunate to get that ball back because Nicholas bumped into his own man, Gerald Wallace, on the rebound, and it looked like J.J. Redick had an open path to get it and go the length.
Crowd starts the Gerald Wallace serenade again. Probably don't want to do it now, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Hits a pair. The lead is 7. Still just about 4 minutes left.
As long as you make stops, now they have to find a way to keep Orlando from scoring in that paint. Make them outside.
Jameer Nelson just missed his first shot of the game moments ago. Richardson, tough fade, short, rebound off of Crawford. Blazers didn't go after that defensive board. A lot of them tried to hit up the floor and didn't get it secured.
They sure did. They get that. They could have cut it to 5.
And that's definitely off of Crawford.
Yeah.
Nelson gets out of jail in that corner. Redick for 3, around and out. Aldridge the rebound.
Boy, it's good to see Redick can miss one.
Batum goes inside, knocked away, gets it back. Batum scores.
Boy, he got it knocked away, and then he knocked it away from the big guy.
5-point game.
There's still time, long as you don't let up on the defensive end. Don't win it with offense, win it with defense.
An 11-2 Blazer run, crowd on its feet. Orlando going to have to work for this one. Inside, Howard in the key, knocked away. Aldridge slapped it out of bounds, and a timeout on the floor as we've reached the under 3 mark, and the crowd giving the Blazers a standing ovation. They know it's been a rough night. The opponent has been red hot, but Portland's hanging right there. Well, the Blazers have outscored Orlando 23-11 here in the quarter. Closest now that it's been since it was 8-2 very early, as Orlando has had his lead as large as 23. Time to get you the slam dunk of the game, brought to you by the good folks at Wilsonville Toyota. Tonight, a little high-low. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. Marcus Camby to LaMarcus Aldridge. That's the Wilsonville Toyota slam dunk of the game. Well, you'll deal with one price on the car and one person in the deal.
Let's see if the Blazers have the energy to catch up in this ballgame.
Under 3 to play now. Orlando all night has come up with a big shot. It's not there.
And it's funny, Jameer Nelson takes it with Turkoglu, Jason Richardson, and J.J. Redick. Much better three-point shooters on the court.
High pick and roll. Crawford. Aldridge sets his feet. Got it! 3-point game.
A lot of time. Both teams have plenty of timeouts going down the last 2:30.
Turkoglu, full head of steam to the rim, lace it in.
Oh, you don't want Turkoglu getting to the rim like that. They pushed to help. Help didn't come because of the big guy. You stay with him an extra second.
Crawford all by himself out top. Here comes the pick. Same play. Matthews, Crawford, Batum, catch and shoot for 3, short. Rebound Nelson. Under 2 to play now, 5-point Orlando lead.
Blazers can't forget about hitting the offensive board now.
Turkoglu, step back 3, got it.
Well, they're pushing Turkoglu and they're switching on that. And LaMarcus is not quite sure how he wants to play Turkoglu. Turkoglu went to the basket last time. This time he hits a 3.
Crawford, Aldridge, back to Crawford. 3 for Matthews is short. Batum fighting to keep it alive. And a loose ball foul going to be called on Batum. He can't believe that. He had his arms in the air. That's what he's trying to illustrate.
Yeah, and the outside official, how did he have a look at that? Let's take a look at this replay. See, they're both bodies. He's not going over his back. He's just going up, both of them. Boy, some big baskets by Turkoglu going down the stretch here.
Turkoglu trying to do it again. Redick. Short. Rebound. Loose ball foul on Gerald Wallace.
Yeah.
Moving underneath Howard, and that's a good call.
Yeah, they just weren't quite sure how they're going to play Turkoglu on these last 3 possessions. And you can see Gerald move, well, not as much as I thought, to tell you the truth.
And now Howard will shoot 2, and it has not been a good night at the free throw line for Dwight Howard. He came in with a 45% free throw average, and it's gone down tonight. He's 2 for 10. Hasn't bothered Orlando.
Well, I'll tell you, when they cut it to 2, or was it 3?
96-93.
Yeah, 96-93.
Portland, by the way, hasn't scored since then.
Yes, and Turkoglu has. He just, all 6'10" of them, took over the game. He became the point guard, point forward.
Howard rims in the second one, and it's a 9-point Orlando lead. So a nice little answer, a nice 6-0 run by the Magic to restore a bit of a. That is a live shot of the sky above Portland. And the moon, crisp, cool evening. It'll dip into the 20s tonight, most likely. Well, Wesley Matthews tonight trying to keep Portland hanging around, and this was a big 3 during the Portland run. Blazers have trailed by as many as 23. Here's Batum, who fought hard to get this ball back after it was knocked away. And then this made it a 3-point game. But Hedo Turkoglu, then with a big driving 2, and then a 3, and then a Howard free throw, and we're right back to a 9-point game.
And they mostly did it without a timeout. They just let him play on, Stan Van Gundy, and boy, Orlando came through.
Wallace for 3, short. Matthews kept it alive. Reddick saves, but to Batum. Still a minute left. Crawford to Wallace. Gerald lays it in. That ball was tipped off of Wallace and hit Scott Foster. Wallace not happy about it, but the officials are part of the playing surface.
Now the Blazers.
And Wallace takes a 20. And Foster explaining what happened to Gerald Wallace. Here, take a look as the ball's tipped by Wallace. That's why Foster blew the whistle, says it hit me. And I'm telling you, Scott Foster gets most everything right. And unlike many, doesn't get emotional late in games. Always the right call.
But he should have been out of the way. The ball shouldn't have hit him.
Oh, he was trying.
He wasn't.
He was out of bounds.
He's got an Orlando t-shirt under that.
Yeah, it would have been Orlando's ball anyway, as Wallace hit it out of bounds.
Yeah, but it didn't go out of bounds.
But Scott Foster knew he was standing out of bounds, so that's out of bounds.
But get out of the way. He's part of the problem right now. Look at, see, he's got blue under there. I see it.
Orlando a 23-point lead tonight. Blazers again rallied, but you can trace this one back to the opening minutes of this game.
Yeah.
When Orlando went lay in, and then started the three-point barrage. They led 8-0 to start this game. Portland trapping now. The travel is called on Jameer Nelson. Drug the pivot foot, and Scott Foster with the call.
Well, you need a three here and some missed foul shots. Oh, they had Nicholas open for the three.
Crawford going to take the two.
Quick two.
5-point game.
Yeah, when you're 5 down, the quick twos are.
Oh, and Matthews takes it away and scores! Ripped it out of the hands of Nelson, and Stan Van Gundy needs time. It's a 3-point game.
Oh.
With still 32 seconds left, so Portland doesn't have to foul.
No. But they have to be real aggressive and not worry about fouls, just like they did right there.
Nelson turned right into Matthews. Portland not dead yet. Well, it's back to a 3-point game. Blazers got it to 96-93, and then it was Hedo Turkoglu for a lay-in, a three-pointer, and that put Orlando back on top. But Portland not going anywhere. First it's Crawford, and then on the inbounds pass, it's Matthews with the steal, and that keeps Portland right there. And with 32 seconds left, what do they do now?
Well, Gerald Wallace will leave his man Turkoglu, and he'll go double the inbound pass. So they'll double it and try to get an interception from J.J. Redick.
Blazers denying pretty well. Turkoglu inbounds to Richardson. Portland not fouling yet. That's the foul to give. No free throws yet, and that's why Portland needed to foul there. I think they're okay by doing that. Michael Holton, what did Nate say during the timeout?
He definitely wanted to get one trap, and even if it was in the middle of the floor, and try to get a steal, and if not, foul, and play time and scoring situation.
All right, well, that was the put to Portland in the penalty, so
yeah, that's
obviously free throws.
I'd have to see the replay because Nicholas swears he didn't foul.
Richardson, not a great free throw shooter, at least not this year. He has been.
Well, I'll tell you, he sold it well. I didn't think he hit him in the eyes at all, but his hand didn't go across his shoulder, so there was contact.
Richardson made the second. Blazers will use a timeout here as it's now a 2-possession game. But this is what it's going to be the rest of the way. Portland trying to score, then foul.
Yeah.
It'll be a free throw contest. Dwight Howard's still in the ball game, but he won't see the ball.
Since
at least on offense.
Since it is a 2-possession and there's 28-8, Blazers will really try to get a quick 2 here, and rather than try to set up a 3 and then go from there and hope that they don't make 2 foul shots. So you still have time, and you still have 1 more timeout. That's the crucial thing. You can go for quick 2s as long as you have the timeout to cover it. As soon as you run out of timeouts, forget the 2s. You got to go for 3s.
Well, we'll leave tomorrow morning for San Antonio and head out on a 6-game, 10-day road trip. There's 2 basically this season. There's 2 long trips and a bunch of short ones, and this is one of the long ones. San Antonio, Houston, New Orleans, Atlanta, Toronto, and then Detroit, which you don't see on the screen. The road trip's so long we ran out of screen.
Yeah. Oh. I hope
San Antonio is where we'll start it. All those games on Comcast Sportsnet. You got your passport?
I got that and an extra pair of underwear.
I would hope you have more than just an extra pair. I'm not sitting next to you.
All right, this is it.
Blazers over the limit. Orlando is not. They can foul, which they will likely not foul here. Crawford's got room for the 3. Takes it on Howard and hits it.
All right, now the Blazers pressure.
Richardson to Reddick. They got a foul now. Reddick, and he is fouled.
Boy, you didn't want to foul that guy.
No, you didn't.
No.
He's missed 2 free throws all year.
Yeah, you probably could have fouled. Who got the ball up court? Jason Richardson?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that would have been the guy to foul since he missed one of the 2. Whereas this guy, he lives to get to this foul line. Oh. And that's as close as he'll come. He hit the front of the rim. And normally when a great foul shooter hits the front of the rim, it won't go in. They're so precise.
Blazers have a 20-second timeout left. They'll likely spend it here. And they do. As it's back to a 2-possession game. And it will be a 20, not a full. Well, Jamal Crawford, we mentioned, he was the guy in the 3rd quarter, and this is why he's here, especially in the second of a back-to-back, but maybe your normal offensive assets aren't working or are tired. He can do this.
Yeah, he knows how to get to the rim if you want a quick 2. And he took advantage of Dwight Howard on the switch. Now the Blazers are out of timeouts. So when you're 4 down and you're out of timeouts, you set up a 3. Quick 2 won't do you any good because you'll be 2 down and you foul, and you'll have to go to the length of the court. If they shoot foul shots, it's not so much whether they make or miss. You have to go to the length of the court, and that takes time. So rather than do any of that, you go for 3 right here, even though there's 16 seconds left. You have 1 timeout, you can go another quick 2, but not in this case.
If you joined us late, Orlando had a 23-point lead midway through the 3rd quarter. Blazers have cut it to 3 on a couple of occasions. Got to act quickly here. Matthews short. Rebound, Reddick.
Boy, no one hit the board. Oh.
Nicely shot that a little bit before he was ready, it appeared, and just came up a tad short.
But the main thing is, you don't even care about them getting a fast break or anything like that. Should be 5 guys hitting the offensive board. So even if you don't get the rebound, you can foul immediately. But not one Blazer was around Reddick. He actually caught the ball and took a dribble before he was fouled. That's just instinct to go after offensive rebounds. Blazers would love to play the first quarter over again.
Even the first 3 minutes over again.
And you can just see it had nothing to do with being tired or energy. Look at this 4th quarter. They've got, what, 33, 34 points scored already.
Aldridge takes a 3.
And I like him taking the 3s in this situation because Dwight Howard's not going to go out on him. And he could shoot.
That'll do it. And ironically, the Magic give up 100 points for the first time this season, but get a huge road win, and obviously the best win of their young season. And I'm sure that later Stan Van Gundy will echo that and say that we played a perfect 3.5 quarters, allowed a comeback to a team that plays very well at home, but they live to tell about it. And they improved to 7-3 for the Blazers. They dropped their first home game of the year. They dropped to 7-3. 107-104 the final. Now it's 6 straight on the road.